Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Kishin Kim, and this is the class for the United States history. Today's topic is immigration. Yeah, what does mean immigration? Even though, including me, actually I was born in South Korea, but because of some reason, actually I came to the United States, and I'm living in the United States, and I'm also getting the green card. I'm resident, permanent resident, and my family actually they are American citizen. Maybe our family is one of the example of the immigration. So maybe many of you also coming from your original country, and you may stay in the United States in order to study. Maybe majority of your hope is getting the green card as soon as possible. So that means all of you are looks like immigrants in the United States. So today's topic is deeply related to your personal also situation. So there are also, when we actually dealing with the issue of immigration, actually there is a push factor and the pull factor. Yeah, look at the slide, and there is some push factor that is related to environmental, social, economic, political reason. Okay, so leave your country. So yeah, because of that reason, actually push me out, and I leave my country. There are several reasons: poverty, fear, disaster, unemployment, etc. And I'm came to United States. That is the full factor. Okay, this is also there are environmental, social, economic, political reason. Okay, maybe you're gonna coming here in order to find the safety, opportunity, stability, freedom. So usually the push factor, okay, that is the things that cause people to want to leave a country or push them out. So because of several reasons, okay, we leave our country. So when actually we're dealing with the USA history, maybe in the beginning, majority of the immigrant actually came from Europe. Okay, so around 250 or 300 years ago, from that time, okay, many Europeans coming to United States because they wanna, because one of the biggest reason is the religious persecution. Around 250 or even 200 years ago, many countries in Europe at the time they have their national religion. So if they choose the Catholic Church as a national religion, other religious persons they were persecuted by the government. They don't have any religious freedom. So actually, the government actually arrested people who don't follow national religion. So in order to escape, in order to find religious freedom, okay, that's why push factor, okay. Also, there are some words. Yeah, there are so many words in Europe, okay. As we know, there is a great war between the England and France, and also because of the Reformation, so many wars, sometimes over 100 years. Every year, usually there was war. In recently, there is a war between the Ukraine and Russia, and if there is a war, that means the famine. That is deeply related to the famine. That means no food. Okay, the whole agricultural area was bombed, and there was no actually harvest and no food because of the reason. Many people escape from their country, poor, unstable economic, education, etc. Actually, I came to United States in order to getting PhD degree because USA educational system is better than my country. That's why education is actually one of my biggest reason for coming to United States. And also things that attract people to move to a place or pulls them in. That's called pull factor. A long time ago, there is free land in the USA, and there are a lot of great chance to getting employment, or also religious political freedom opportunity. Maybe also many of you coming to United States for education or employment, getting better job, getting more higher salary. Okay. Also, through the actually previous two classes, I'm explaining about westward expansion, and also there was industrial revolution. So there are more opportunity for getting the job, especially Homestead Act. That means they are especially in the western area, including California. The government actually gave this land for free, okay, free land. So this is huge actually some kind of a government law in order to attract more people to coming to West. So Homestead Act, free land, okay, made Western farmland inexpensive. And also railroad offered assistance with fare. Even railroad company, even though they are from the New York and coming to the California, okay, this is huge actually continental railroad. But at the time 200 years ago or even 150 years ago, actually there is extremely low popularity in western area. So that's why railroad company offered assistance with fare. They need customer in the west who would buy their good. So that's why push factor and pull factor. That is one of the biggest reason of the immigration. And especially there was two actually place to enter the United States long time ago. One of them is Ellis Island in New York. Yeah, I also visited there long time ago, around 20 years ago actually. I visited Ellis Island. It is now looks like a museum, old museum, but long time ago, around 200 or through even 100 years ago, so many immigrants coming to United States through the Ellis Island in New York. It is located in New York Harbor, and in 1890, Congress, USA Congress actually designated low-lying 3 acres Ellis Island in Upper New York Bay as immigration station. So as soon as the ship arrive in United States, they coming to this actually immigration station, okay, immigration station in Ellis Island, and they pass the their examination, and finally they coming to United States. By the end of 1910, around 6 million immigrants actually from Europe had come through Ellis Island. Imagine, okay, so many people, 6 million people, 6 million Europeans actually coming to United States through the Ellis Island, because east area actually Pacific, there is a Pacific Ocean between the North America to European continent. So by airplane from New York going to the England, maybe it only takes 3 or 4 hours, okay? But just imagine, from New York to coming to the Los Angeles by airplane, it actually takes around 6 or 7 hours. That means the New York is closer, more close actually than Los Angeles. Especially New York City is very close to Europe continent. That's why so many Europeans coming to United States through the Ellis Island. If you have any opportunity to visit New York City, try to visit there, Ellis Island. This is a long history immigration station. And the immigrant workforce. Why so many immigrants from Europe? they coming to United States because there are so many jobs, okay, so many food, okay, so much food, everything is so fluent, okay. Yeah, when I actually living in the United States, I found that every store full of food, full of clothing stuffs. This is huge and also fluent. Everything is full, okay? That's why many immigrants actually coming to United States, especially 200 through 100 years ago, so many Europeans coming to United States in order to getting their job, especially Industrial Revolution in the USA. Through the previous class, I actually lectured there is a big actually boom in industry, so many factories, so many actually working place. That's why. So massive immigration created a new workforce, and they provide inexpensive labor. Okay, why USA accepts so many immigrants? Because they should pay more money to the person who live in United States, but immigrant, they pay low, okay? They pay only low salary. That's why inexpensive, not much expensive. Why still USA actually accepting so many immigrants? Because they only provide low actually salary to the immigrants, and immigrants, they are satisfied with that salary. That's why with immigrant labor, working condition worsen. Yeah, look at the picture. Who are they? They are immigrants. Even they are children. So sometimes, according to the record, around 10 to 15 years old children, instead of going to the school, they going to the factory in order to working. And why? They should support their family. That's why. So working condition was at the time worse, okay? So labor union did form, but were largely unsuccessful. So even though, yeah, the factory only gave extremely low actually salary to the children or women or to the immigrants, but still so many persons who are looking for new job, because that is one of the biggest reason why so many immigrants coming, because they don't have any money, they don't have any food in their country. But in United States, at least they provide their job, they provide the food. That's why they coming to United States. The same thing actually happened to around 200 years ago through maybe the middle of the 20th century. So many people around the world actually they coming to United States in order to find their job, even though low salary, even though they receive low salary, but in their country it was big money. Even I heard that even in my country, South Korea, there are so many people coming from East Asia. Why? In their country, actually, their monthly salary is only $300. But as soon as they coming to South Korea, maybe they getting minimum $2,000. Okay, $2,000. Sometimes 10 times more salary. Okay, so money, salary, that is one of the biggest actually issue for the immigration. So exactly United States, the same thing happened, okay? Even though the early immigrants, like the Puritans, actually they coming to United States in order to find religious freedom. They wanted to have their one worship service, okay? Religious region is one of the biggest region in the maybe first generation of immigrants, but little bit later, because of the Industrial Revolution in the United States, many Europeans coming to United States in order to find their job. That is big region, and that's why there is some difference between the old immigrant versus new immigrant. Old immigrant, maybe sometimes higher class actually coming to North America. That belong to the old immigrants. So look at the picture. Old immigrant versus new immigrant. Look at the picture, left side picture. They looks like rich, but new immigrant, yeah, they looks like poor. Okay, there is some comparison between old immigrants and new immigrants. So all the immigrants, they are, as I said, their first actual aim to coming to United States is find their religious freedom. So they actually have some property. They sold their house and they coming to United States as a rich person. But new immigrants, they are so different because there was no food. Okay, there was no food. One example, a little bit later, I'm gonna talking about that. There was no food in their country. They died because lack of the food. So instead of dining in famine, they coming to United States in order to find food. That's why that is the biggest reason. So all the immigrants, most of them actually Protestants coming from actually Northern Europe, including England and France. As I said, Spain at the time, that three country is one of the strongest country in the world. Those three actually countries are the richest country in the world at the time. So that's why all the immigrants, they have looks like a higher class, but little bit later, new immigrants, most of them coming southern eastern Europeans, Jewish, and even including the Catholic. New immigrants, they are poor. Okay, they are unskilled. Also, as soon as they coming to the United States, they settle in the city because the city is the housing is a little bit at the time inexpensive. That's why they settle down in cities. And others, schoolmaster unable to find work or artisan looking for a great opportunity. So usually, who coming to United States? Yeah, usually the older persons, they wanted to stay in there, okay? But especially younger generation, in order to find better opportunity, they actually moving their country to another country. So that also thing exactly happened to the history of the United States of America. Many were young men and women, okay, willing to risk traveling to unknown land in hope of finding a brighter future. Why are you coming to USA? Because we are looking for a brighter, better actually future. That's why. But we must actually distinguish that there is some comparison between the old immigrants versus new immigrants as you see the picture. And the immigration and the urban growth. So especially the immigration 1820 through 1840, so many Europeans coming to United States. Around at the time 1.5 actually million Europeans coming to United States. Most of them actually try to stay in big city because there is more factory, there is more job in the city. That's why. So New York City's residents were immigrant, full of immigrants. And most actually big city, Chicago, St. Louis, Milwaukee, immigrants outnumbered native-born cities. That means the immigrant outnumbered. They have more number than USA born actually people. Okay, native people, and you see the graph. Okay, immigration. Number one actually country. Number one immigrant actually they coming from Ireland. Actually at the time Great Britain is composed the as you know the Britain, okay, Britain and Iceland, and they actually divided by actually 3 or 4 actually island. That's why. But one of the island in England called Ireland, okay, Ireland, Irish. So during that time, the early of 19th century, 43% actually coming from Ireland, and 27% coming from Germany, and English actually they coming up from the England. So and the other actually Northern Europeans 11. So that means the majority coming from the Ireland, Germany, England. Okay, at the time. Ireland, even though Ireland belonged to Great Britain, actually Irish, Ireland, their actually regional religion is Catholic. Okay, most of them actually they are Catholic, but when actually USA was born, the spirituality is based on the Protestant spirituality, and the Protestantism versus Catholic, little bit actually, maybe not little bit. Much actually difference between them. And look at the picture. Yeah, what do you feel about it? Yeah, even they coming, they looks like feel cold, hungry, but their face with joys because they finally they coming new land. Maybe in soon maybe they gonna find job and they can feed their children. That's why. But usually, as I said, during the 1840, actually from 1820 through 1840, usually heavy migration from Catholic Ireland, as I said. Almost 43% immigrant coming from Ireland. Actually, majority coming from Germany, actually because of the economic dislocation and revolution, and Ireland, unpopularity of the English rule. As we know, yeah, even Ireland belonged to England, as you know. But Ireland wanted to have independence from England, actually. Their race, actually, their religion, their culture, they are so different. But as we know, they still in the one country. But Ireland, actually, Irish, actually, they are unhappy with the English rule. That's why. Also, during the 1820 through 1840, there was a great potato famine. That means there is no potato, not good harvest for potato. Okay, potato was their main food at the time, and during the harvest time, there was no food. How can they feed their children? So according to the historical actually record, so many people died because of a famine. There was no food. They died of hunger. Okay. So instead of dining in their country, they coming to United States to find food. That's why. That's why majority of them are so poor, and they hungry, they are uneducated, they are unskilled person, and the majority of them living in the city like New York City. And at the time, factory owners actually they support of immigration because immigrants actually provide a worker for low paying job. So through the previous question, I'm dealing with the industrial revolution. And as we know, every factory need more people. Okay, more they need labor, but labor is very expensive in United States. But so many immigrants coming to United States, and factory owners welcome immigrants because they can pay very little money to them. So always there is some kinds of economical reason for immigration issues. Okay. And city, the arrival of the large number of immigrants, so many people coming, okay? As I said, only 20 years, 1.5 million immigrants coming to United States. Most of them actually stay in the big city, like the New York City. So look at the picture. This is one of the picture of the New York City. So they hang on their clothing, okay? On outside. Even limited apartment, very small apartment, sometimes 2 or 3 family living together. Okay, so and they getting the job in the factory. That's why they getting together in the big city. And between 65 and 1900, the percentage of Americans living in the city doubles. So more immigrants coming, that means more occupied in the city, more people living in the city. So yeah, the present situation is exactly the same. The first city, big city in United States is maybe New York City, and there are so many people coming from around the world. Also, we living in the territory of the Los Angeles city, and there are so many actually races from around the world, as we see. So we see the so many Mexicans, Asians, sometimes Eastern Europe, and it seems like white Americans, they are minority in California. So that's actually one of the best example. And always the population grows up in the city. There are so many problems. Noise, definitely. Traffic jam. Yeah, wow, yeah. In California, traffic jam is a huge one, okay? Slum. The exactly the picture actually the picture is given us the evidence of the slum. Slum means they are in the small apartment, so many people living together, and air pollution and the sanitation and the health problem become commonplace. Yeah, city always bring a lot of problem, especially in California. There is a homeless problem, and when people getting together, still we fear over the coronavirus, and also mass transition, including the subway and the bus station, and the skyscraper begin to dominate city skylines. Even yeah, in Los Angeles and New York City, there are so big, tall buildings. That's the actually symbol of the big city. One of the biggest reason is that why big city becomes slum is that so many low-income immigrants coming to big United States, and they stay in big city, and that's why rich higher class actually they escape from the city and they go to the suburb, okay, around the big city. They going out, they escape from the big city, and they building their luxurious house, they living in there. Yeah, look at the picture. Yeah, so many immigrants coming to big city, and even one room, it seems like more than 10 people living together. Wow, because they are at the time with their salary, they cannot afford one room. That's why they living more than 10 people living together in one room at the time. It was some kind of a worse actually condition of a living situation. Immigrants often lived in buildings abandoned by middle class residents. That's why actually previously middle class actually they living in 3 or 4 through 5 bedroom, okay, but they fear the immigrant, and they escape from the city. They abandoned their house. That's why immigrants they lived in the building abandoned by middle class residents and converted into multi-family unit. So apartment. Actually, apartment is some kind of a symbol of immigration, okay, and their poorness, their actually slum situation. So the tenant become identified as a slum. Yeah, this is one of the best example of a slum. Yeah, when you visit the center of the big city, actually we see that the poor people actually living in the city. They're called actually slum, but the richest person actually they move out from the city. Actually, even Santa Barbara, okay, or West Hollywood, in that area, the rich guy, millionaires actually living together. They abandoned the slummed actually city. That's why many family would climb into space only mean to a few. So the picture is the exactly describe the same the situation of cram into a small space. Okay. So yeah. Many immigrants tend to settle with others from the same country, creating the ethnic neighborhood. So people getting together. Yeah, that's why even you go to visit the Los Angeles area, you may see the Chinese territory, the Chinese town, Korean town, Bangladeshi town. Maybe there is also a big Vietnam town in Garden Grove. Okay. People try to getting together because the barrier of language and culture. Yeah, even Koreans try to getting together. That's why creating and that can still be found in many big cities today. That's why whenever I travel around the United States. Whenever I go to especially visit the big city, I easily found the Chinatown, sometimes Korean town, sometimes Indian town, or other countries actually town. Okay, so many actually because big city, the people from the same country, they wanna getting together. That's more easier to find their traditional food, even their traditional culture. Okay, that's why. As I said in the beginning of the early, okay, even before the independence, actually USA seems like identified as a Protestant nation. So look at the picture. They are Puritans. Okay, they were persecuted in England because at the time the national religion in England was Church of England. That's why. So Puritans escaped from the England. They coming to North America, especially most of them stay in New England. And Protestants has dominated during the colonial period. Majority of them they are Protestant. Okay, in the English colonies, Puritans in North East, and the Church of England in Georgia. So before the independence, there was a major two religion called Puritan and the Church of England, and the Catholic was minor, okay, minority. Catholic were harassed and persecuted in England throughout 17th century. Yeah, early over the USA history, actually, Catholic, even European continent, actually, Catholic Church is dominated. They are the most strongest religious group. But in the United States, the situation is totally different from the Europe. That's why. And the Roman Catholic Church fortune fluctuated in Maryland and become an increasing small minority of the population. So, yeah, one of the biggest reason most Protestants group coming to United States because the Roman Catholic Church's persecution against the Protestant. That's why in the beginning so many Protestants Christians actually coming to United States. So they dominated early year of the United States. So this is 13 colonies in the early years, and the number one is look at the map. Little bit bright blue. That's Anglican. Anglican, one of the dominated. Anglican Church is actually the group of the Protestant Church in England, and many Anglo-Saxon people coming to United States, and yellow is congregational. Actually, they are Puritans. So majority of them Anglican and Congregational, and the other Lutheran is also Protestant Church, Presbyterian Church, Baptist Church. Okay, but Roman Catholic Church is minority. So that's why this is one of the best example in the beginning of the United States of history. Actually, the Protestant Church actually they dominated in United States, but more immigrants coming to the United States, there is more hatred against the immigrants. the USA was occupied many immigrants, and now USA start closing their immigration. Okay, so that called actually nativism. That means USA born citizenship in USA. They don't wanna immigrant from outside, so they prohibit. Please, no more coming to United States. This is our land. Okay? You stay in your country. Don't coming to United States. That called actually nativism. So defense of native born. Native born people in USA. They was born in the United States, and they wanted to protect their race and their land. That's why. So nativism is a defense of native born people and the hostility toward the immigrants. They hate immigrants. Okay? And the workers complained that immigrants took their job. Definitely. Yeah. Usually, as soon as the many immigrants coming to United States, actually they getting the job. That means there are low possibility to getting the job for the native born people. That's why. And also native born people, actually, they fear the Catholic Church. As I said, most of them are Protestant, but Irish, they are Catholic, okay? So they fear that Catholic Church and the Pope would influence American politics. They afraid of Catholic Church. And Uyghurs, maybe in modern term, is Republican, okay? Donald Trump is Republican. So long time ago, another party name is Whig, okay? Whig were unhappy that immigrants tend to vote for the Democratic. Yeah, definitely. There is two political party called the Republican, okay? Republican, they love nativism, okay? They don't like immigration, okay? But definitely Democratic Party, they open to immigration. Hey, welcome to America. Welcome to everybody. So that is one of biggest actually difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Look at the picture. Yeah, they made a big wall and maybe literary test, some kinds of English test. Even though they claim that USA is land of freedom, but they prohibit. They shut down immigration. Okay. So today I'm gonna show three best examples. One best example is anti-Catholicism, as I said. Anti-Catholicism has its origin in Reformation. Through the Reformation, actually, Protestant church was born. Many Protestant people actually coming to United States. And the Reformation was based on effort to correct what is perceived to be error and excesses of the Catholic Church. So they anti-Catholicism. Protestant spirituality is based on anti-Catholicism. That's why Protestantism formed a strong position against the Roman clerical hierarchy and the papacy. Look at the picture. Actually, this is the book Old Enemy. Who is the enemy of the Protestantism? That is the Catholic Church. Catholic and the Protestant in the 19th English culture, both of them are enemy to each other. As I said, USA, the first spirituality, one of the spirituality is Protestantism, and they stay in here, but suddenly so many Catholic believers coming from actually Ireland and Germany. That's why they try to shut down. They actually establish a great war against Catholic believer. That's why. So look at the picture again. Yeah, people actually they are feared of the crocodile. But look at the picture closely. Who are they? They are Catholic people, okay? Especially the Pope. The head of the Catholic Church is Pope, and he described as a crocodile. Crocodile is dangerous. So many USA-born actually natives they feared over Catholic attack on USA. this is one of the best example of anti-immigration movement. So nativism again. Anti-foreign feeling that arose in the 1840s and 50s in response to the influx of Irish and German Catholics. So many Catholic people coming to United States. That's why Protestant Americans, they feared of their coming. And the majority of immigrants after 1830, Catholic, poor, uneducated, and Irish. And many were poor farmers. As I said, okay, they have no food in their country, and their fathers or grandfathers' land has been divided so often that the plot was no longer large enough to support even single family. So they have no food, okay, they have no land, they have no harvest. So they coming to United States to find better situation, better actually bigger land. That's why. So this actually picture was drawn by Thomas Nast. Okay, this actually picture showing bishop as a crocodile attacking with the cannibals of the Irish Catholic politicians. So this is one of the best example of anti-immigration. Okay, we disagree. We disagree to immigration. No more people coming to United States. So that nativism is one of the best example. And anti-Catholic animus reached a peak in 19th century when the Protestant population became alarmed by influx of the Catholic immigrants. And the American Protestants believed that Catholic Church was the whore of Babylon in the book of Revelation. Yeah, they hate each other. So another picture. They aiming at the gun to the Catholic peoples. Okay, they have been long actually enemy to each other. So more free than welcome. No welcome. Okay, we are not welcoming you coming to United States. And the second actually anti-immigration movement is. This is the some kind of image, especially Angel Island. From Ellis Island in New York City, actually majority coming from Europe, but Angel Island is located in San Francisco, actually coming from actually Asia. Okay. So Angel Island located in San Francisco. Actually, many Asians, primarily Chinese, many Chinese actually coming to United States. They coming into the Angel Island in San Francisco Bay. Okay, western coast. We living in western coast. Okay, so we near to Asia. Okay, Asians, African Americans. Native Americans and others was excluded from this process of fusion and amalgamation. So they look at the picture. Yeah, Americans. They kick Chinese out. Okay, get out of here. So finally, in 1882, the Congress. The USA Congress actually passed the law, Chinese Exclusion Act. That means get out of here. This is a white person's land. So Asian, including the Chinese, back to your country. So actually Chinese Exclusion Act prohibited all Chinese except the student, teacher, merchant, tourist, and government official. So this law was not repealed until 1943. So almost more than 50 years they prohibit coming over Chinese into the USA land. So this is one of the best example. Also the anti-immigration, okay, anti-immigration movement. So, but as we know, through the westward expansion at the time. Who built railroad in continental railroad in the United States? Majority of them actually they are Chinese. Okay, when they need the hands of the Chinese, they welcome Chinese. But as soon as they finish the railroad, they kick them out. So some kinds of anti immigration. And another also third example is the gentleman's agreement. Actually, that is against Japanese. Okay, Japanese. Gentleman's agreement is for the Japanese. In San Francisco, Board of Education took all Asian school children, placed them special Asian school. That means Asian children cannot study with white guys. Okay, so Asian students, you cannot stay in public school. You getting together, you must go Asian school. And the anti-American riot broke out that is related to the political situation in Japan. Because in Japan at the time, there was anti-American movement in Japan. That's why. And Japan agreed to limit Japanese immigration to the USA. In return, San Francisco withdrew its segregation order a little bit later. So look at the picture. No Jap means the little bit lower language of the Japanese. Okay, no Jap in our schools. Get out of here, Japanese. This is our school. That's why. A little bit later, we know that the Japanese actually finally attacking Pearl Harbor. Okay, Pearl Harbor. So there are some political, also the economical actually conflict between the USA and Japan. That's why there was a gentleman's agreement. And as soon as the many immigrants coming to United States, they should be Americanized. That is called Americanization movement. So many immigrant groups maintain their ethnic identity. As I said, many ethnic groups, as soon as they coming together, they getting together, and they have their one group, maybe German-speaking group, Japanese-speaking group, Chinese-speaking group, Vietnamese-speaking group, or even Korean-speaking group. Yeah, that's why, as I said, in big city there is a specific, there is a town, okay, nationality, okay, melting pot. Yeah, definitely. USA is melting pot. Everything is mixing together. Immigrants assimilated into culture through the education and acculturation. Volunteers run programs to help newcomers learn English and adopt American dress and diet, food. Okay. Settlement house provide assistance to residents, particularly immigrants in slum neighborhood. So look at the picture. Welcome to USA. Back. Now speak English. Okay, speak English. Do not speak your own language. Okay, English you must. Yeah, but as we know, yeah, learning English is not easy. Learning another language, yeah, especially when after young adult. Okay, not easy. If you're born or if you're coming to maybe elementary school, maybe we can. English can be our first also language, but anyway, Americanization movement, yeah, as soon as we coming to United States, actually we must understand the American culture. And the 1920s immigration quotas, that means the so many people coming to try to coming to United States, but USA government actually limited the number. Quotas limiting, that means quotas, okay? Quotes, that means they are limiting the number of immigrants, especially because of World War I, Russian Revolution, Red Scare, some kind of a communism. Because of that reason, Congress, USA Congress passed the Emergency Court Act in 1921 and the National Origin Act 1924. And in order to lower the number of European and Asians, hey, no No more coming to USA. We're gonna limit our number, okay? That's why, quote, okay? Number of immigrants of a given nationality per year could not exceed 3% of the number of the people living in the USA in 1890. So look at the picture. USA government. So many people want to come in USA, and only that's why USA only giving 3% allow and giving them green card. Okay, green card. Very limited people now. Very limited people can coming to USA, except the students, and they can get the green card. But because of the communist, against the communist, actually, including the Russia and the China group, this kind of group were excluded. Southern Eastern Europeans, Italy, Russia, Yugoslavia, Hungary, Jews, and the Catholic, Japanese, Chinese. Okay. Still, this kinds of law are still effective, and according to the population, your green card. You can get the very limited green card. Yeah. When Donald Trump was president, actually, he established the Trump wall between the USA border and Mexico. This is a huge wall, okay? Huge wall. And still many, actually, Latin American people, they wanted to coming to United States. But as we studied, this Southern California, Nevada, Texas, this huge land actually around 150 years ago, who was the owner of this land? At the time, Mexico. Mexico was the owner of this land, but unfortunately, 150 years ago, actually, there was a war between the USA and the Mexican war, and the USA won the war, and they took this land. And still so many people actually coming from Latin America, and the major population in California now, they are Spanish. Okay, Spanish is #1 race in California, and also many Asians living in California. It seems like the white Anglo-Saxon, they are minority in California. But we must remember that immigrants helped the USA. Immigrants helped the USA become one of the richest, fattest growing country in the world. Immigrants actually, they build railroad, dug the mine, they building the bridge, they building the subway. Okay, they work in the factory. And because they receive extremely low income, low money, okay, but they actually contribute to the boom of the Industrial Revolution. The success of America as a world superpower rests on their hard work. Look at the picture. So many Chinese, Asians, and Irish people, actually they building up huge railroad, huge factory, huge building, huge actually bridge. So many people die because of that reason. And also, even we go to the northern area of the California, so many Spanish actually they coming, actually they working in the farm. Without them, it is extremely hard to getting food. Okay, they provide low, they provide labor with low actually income. Still, many immigrants actually contribute to the economical development in the United States. So we must remember, but USA is the land of the immigration, and still this is open to many countries. And why are you here? This is the land of opportunity. That's why we are here. Okay, thanks to listen to my lecture. See you next week. Thank you.